On a freezing Toronto morning, a struggling single dad named Ethan was rushing to his early shift when he noticed something that made him stop in his tracks. Outside a small convenience store, a young mother stood shivering, her thin jacket no match for the biting wind. Beside her, two little twins, maybe 4 years old, held her hands tightly. Their faces were pale, their eyes hollow, and their lips trembling with cold. The mother whispered, "I'm sorry, babies, we'll find something soon," trying to sound brave, but it was clear she had no idea how. Ethan should have walked away. He already had more than enough problems of his own. His daughter Sophie had been sick with the flu all week, his rent was overdue, and his boss had warned him he couldn't miss any more shifts. He barely had enough money for gas, let alone charity. But something about that mother's voice stopped him. It reminded him of the fear he once carried, the fear he felt when his wife passed away and he suddenly became a single dad overnight. He walked up to them slowly. "Hey, you guys okay?" he asked gently. The mother startled, embarrassed, pulling her kids closer. "We're fine," she said, but her cracked voice betrayed her. Ethan glanced at the twins' faces, thin, tired, hungry. He sighed, knowing exactly what he was about to do, even though it would hurt his own pocket. "Wait here," he said, and he walked into the convenience store. He grabbed sandwiches, juice boxes, a warm rotisserie chicken, and even small chocolate bars for the twins. When he returned, the mother stared at the bags, overwhelmed. No, I can't take that," she whispered. Ethan shook his head. "I've been where you are," he said quietly. "Let me help." The twins devoured the food instantly, their tiny hands shaking as they ate. Tears filled the mother's eyes. "My name is Lily," she finally said. "I lost my job 2 months ago. My landlord threw us out last night. I didn't know where to go. I couldn't let them go hungry." Ethan felt his throat tighten. He knew exactly how fast life could collapse. Without thinking too deeply about it, he offered, "Come warm up at my place. It's small, but at least it's safe." Lily hesitated, then nodded. She had no choice. At Ethan's small basement apartment, Sophie instantly warmed to the twins, sharing her toys and blankets. Lily watched the children play and finally allowed herself to breathe. For the first time in weeks, she wasn't terrified. That night, while the kids slept, Lily opened up. She explained how her ex had abandoned them, how she had been trying to survive on temporary jobs, how one unlucky week had spiraled into homelessness. Ethan listened, really listened. And after she finished, he told her his own truth, his wife's sudden death, his struggle with depression, his constant fear of failing his daughter. They were two broken people holding their worlds together with sheer will. As days passed, their little home filled with warmth and laughter. Sophie adored Lily, and the twins adored Ethan. They cooked meals together, helped each other search for jobs, and slowly became something like a family. Then everything changed. One morning, Ethan got a call from a major construction company. They offered him a stable, full-time position with benefits, a job he had applied for months ago. It was everything he needed to finally breathe again. That same afternoon, Lily received a call from a community center where she had applied as a receptionist. They wanted her to start immediately. It felt like life was giving them both a second chance. Weeks later, with both of them working, they managed to rent a small townhouse together, still modest, but warm, safe, and full of hope. The kids played in the backyard every evening, filling the air with excited laughter. The house felt alive. One night, after the kids fell asleep, Lily stood beside Ethan on the small balcony. She looked up at the quiet Canadian sky and whispered, "I don't know what would have happened to us if you hadn't stopped that day." Ethan smiled softly. "Maybe I didn't save you," he said. "Maybe we saved each other." Lily leaned her head on his shoulder, and in that moment, everything felt right, like all the pain they had endured had finally led them somewhere safe, somewhere meant. Their story became a reminder to anyone who heard it. Sometimes the smallest act of kindness, offered at the hardest moment, can change everything, not just for others, but for yourself too. And the struggling single dad who once thought he had nothing left to give ended up gaining the greatest gift of all: a new beginning, a new family, and a future filled with hope.